Hey everybody, thank you for popping on either in real time or recorded time for a 4-part series that I am doing with Laura Lori. We tried to start them last week and I deeply apologize. We had some Zoom issues and we also had a camera issue on my behalf. So we said, you know what, we're just gonna push it out 1 week. They're going to be varying times in the afternoon over the next 4 weeks on Mondays. You're going to hear us, kind of call them lunch and learns or happy hours or maybe even a breakfast surprise. But we're basically doing a 4-part series on just some back to basic skills that we know are going to help you guys with your business. We know that they're going to aid in your 2020 success. And we hope that this is an amazing tool, not only for yourself, but for your teams and people that are going to join you or that have already joined you. So today's call is focused on 3-way calls and ATMs. The main purpose that we want you to know from learning these skill sets is that network marketing, first of all, is that, right? It's about using a network. It's about building relationships and working as a team and really building that trust, that camaraderie, that community from the get-go. So it's not like once you have a builder, you plug them into the team, or once they've had an amazing product experience, but from the very beginning, putting like-minded people together, helping people relate, helping them find someone else who's on a similar journey, and also really encouraging third-party validation. So if you guys have ever seen any infomercial, there's always somebody who's really validating it. There's a celebrity, there's a famous actor, a fitness person saying, yes, this product has done X, Y, Z. And that's what we really do with 3-way calls and ATMs. In addition to building community and introducing them to the network, and in addition to third-party validation, the other thing that it does is really creates a vehicle for the new person to learn and not feel like they have to be the expert. We know that when someone's new and really excited, they may have experienced the results of Isogenics, they're feeling better, but they're thinking, I don't know how to reach out to people. I don't know how to overcome objections. I don't know all of the costs, all of the packs, all of the ingredients. And this is a way that you can really lean on your team, not necessarily your upline or your sponsor, but just a team member to help answer those questions, to help guide your customer in the right direction as you're learning. So I'm going to tackle the ATM piece, and then Laura's going to chime into anything else that I have left out and for sure cover the 3-way call piece. But we just really want to give you guys permission to learn this skill. Practice with us if you want to, show others how to do it, and just understand that this is a huge part of not only launching your network marketing business, but something that you will always do as you continue to grow your network marketing business. So ATM is an acronym that was coined by my dear friend Jessica Rigner that stands for Add, Tag, Message. And I'm going to go through that with you in all of those parts. But again, ATM stands for Add, Tag, Message. And simply put, once you meet someone or you find someone interested, you're going to add them to Dreamers in Action testimonials, Dreamers in Action preview. That's a Facebook group that we have set up that is for guests. That is for people who want to learn more, for people that are not enrolled yet, they're not yet committed, but they want to see the stories, they want to read the articles, they want to be a part of our community and culture and just learn while they're deciding. That's the group that's available for them. Now, the T stands for tag. We're encouraging you to tag them in a post that is specific to their goals. So tag them in a transformation that is something they're aiming for. Tag them in an article, tag them in an ingredient, tag them in a product, something about what they have shared with you. And then we're encouraging you to start a group message, either on Facebook Messenger or through text message, with you, your guest, and one other person, at most 2 other people. You don't need to put the whole kitchen soup in that group message, right? Partially because it gets diluted, and if Laura already answers, I'm going to go, well, I don't need to chime in. Laura already did it. But also because it's very overwhelming for the new person. That's like, oh my gosh, I just got hit with like 18 ping pong balls. They don't really know what to do from there. So let me show you what this looks like in a couple different examples. Let's say I was just flying back from St. Louis and I was sitting next to an elderly woman, right? Someone who's a little bit older than me, but she expressed an interest in nutrition. She expressed an interest in healthy aging. She expressed an issue in joint support. She expressed an issue in wanting to sleep better. And even though I am knowledgeable in this industry, right, and I'm knowledgeable within Isogenics, I can offer it. I know that I want her to find someone that she can relate to. I know that I want her to put her in a boat with someone similar, for her to see our community and give her third-party validation and give her data outside of my own opinion. So while we were getting off the plane, I just said, if it's okay, I would love to follow up with you. I have this amazing group that I want to add you to. You will be so in love with the stories and the success in there. You're going to be able to learn so much more. I can guide you in the direction of some of the products that we've talked about. And I'm also going to introduce you to my mom, because she had so many similar goals. And I just think you're really going to relate to her story. And so I'm going to add her to Dreamers in Action preview. I'm going to tag her in something about the sleep support. I'm going to tag her in our joint support. I'm going to tag her in isogenesis, all of the things that she referenced: sleep, right, joints, and healthy aging. And then I'm going to do a group message with my mom, and I'm be like, Mom, I just met Samantha on the plane flying back. She's amazing. I learned all about her kids, all about her grandkids. And I came to find out that she's actually really interested in our nutrition. She's looking for healthy aging. She wants to sleep better. She's concerned about her joints as she gets older. And I said, I have got to introduce you to my mom. She is the mom of 3 people. She's worked out her whole life, and this nutrition is literally reversing the aging clock. Mom, will you be so kind to tell Samantha your story, how you use these products and what you've noticed? And at that point, you know, my mom would chime in. She would tell her story. She would talk about what she's doing. And Samantha, first of all, has credibility with me because I did what I said I was going to do, right? Now she's in the page. She sees the community. She sees all the information. She can read the specific information into where I guided her. And then she's in this message, and she has the third-party validation with my mom. So let me share with you another way that this may go. Oh, Sam, you look so cute in your hat. Let me say another way that this may go. So let's say I'm at the gym and I take my e-shot, and someone's like, what is that? What is that you drink every day when you come in here? I'm like, oh my gosh, it's my favorite little energy drink. It gives me the best workout with no spikes and no crashes, and supports inflammation throughout my workout, right? And they're like, oh my gosh. And this person starts telling me that they're training for a half marathon. You know, they're training for a marathon and they're looking for sports nutrition. And I might say, I'm in a hurry, but I would love to friend you on Facebook. I want to add you to our amazing online community. You can look at all the athlete stories in there. I'm going to tag you in some information that's very specific to our sports performance line. And I'm also going to introduce you to a friend of mine who has done a lot of half marathons that you will love to learn from. She can share her story. And so again, I'm going to add her to the preview page. I'm going to tag her in a product like the eShot. I'm going to tag her in Hydrate. I'm going to tag her in Nitro or Power or Recover or something. I might tag her in a post from Shauna or Michelle Bina where they're talking about how they train and how they do these runs. And then I'm going to introduce her. And I'm going to say, Laura, it was so fun to meet you this morning at the gym. I hope that you got the request to join our Dreamers in Action preview. And as promised, I want to introduce you to my friend Shauna. I know you're training for this half marathon. Shauna's an avid runner. She's been using these products for years, and she can tell you exactly what she does and how she's crushed all of these races. And again, Shauna's going to chime in there. She's going to tell her story. They can start to relate. They can build rapport. We take it from there. The main thing with the ATM, you guys, outside of third-party validation and outside of the community, is that as new people, sometimes we don't know what to do when an objection happens, right? With new people, sometimes we don't know how to keep the conversation going. And when you have someone else in there who's a little bit more seasoned and a little bit more experienced, they will naturally keep that conversation going. They will naturally be able to follow up, you know, to circle back when we have promotions, to be able to overcome those objections, to be able to really progress with getting the yes and going for that close. So I'm going to turn it over to Laura now. I invite you guys, as always, to reach out to us if you have any questions, if there's anything we can do. But please know that learning the skill of ATM is part of growing your business, and we're just so proud of you for investing the time to learn this skill.
I love that, Lauren. And that is such a fantastic skill to learn and to have in this business because of all the things you mentioned, right? Giving validation, connecting them to like people, right? So putting them in the same boat. And really the three-way call is not dramatically different. You might use it for a few different reasons, but it's not dramatically different. So the very first thing I say about all of this, right from the point of connection, like when Lauren said, you know, she was sitting on the plane next to this older woman and was talking to her. She never made it weird, right? She just was excited and she wanted to get her connected up and get her the information and connect her up with someone she would relate to. And that's the same thing with three-way calls. Like, we call them three-way calls. I wish there was another name we could give them, because as soon as we say that, everybody's like, oh my gosh, that's so weird. It isn't weird. It's really the same thing as ATMs, but it's just setting up the phone call. So again, it may be exactly the same thing where you're adding them into our Facebook page, letting them know you're going to tag them, connecting them to a like-minded person. So the first thing about three-way calls that I love, and in the beginning I didn't understand them, and I made it weird and people didn't want to get on the phone. So I talk from a place of experience when I say don't make it weird. But when you are getting, like, if you're brand new to this business and you don't know, right? You're like, well, I don't know what to say to people. I don't know product ingredients. I don't know what pack recommendations to make. Like, I just know I feel good. Use that as a way to set up that three-way call. Like, you know what, Lauren, I feel amazing. I don't know all the details. I don't know all the different ways to get started. But my friend Samantha, who got me started, she's really knowledgeable, and I know she can answer your questions. I know she can figure out the best way for you to get started. Let's get on the phone with her. So if you're a new person, it gives you that opportunity to play into that. I'm new. I don't know, but I want to connect you up with someone who does know. So use that as a source for you in setting up those calls. It is not, N-O-T, not ever, I want you to talk to my upline. I want you to talk to my mentor. I want you to talk to my leader. Those are all things that make it weird, right? So if you're new, your verbiage is going to be, you know, I love the products. I'm having a great experience, but I don't have all the answers for you, but I want to connect you with someone who does. That's great verbiage, right? My friend who got me started, she's super knowledgeable. She'll answer your questions. There's other times that you might want to set that three-way call up where it isn't so much you don't know. Like, this is the hardest thing, I think, for a lot of people once they are experienced, is to still utilize that three-way call when they do know, right? But the validity that you get and the credibility that you give to what you're doing by connecting them to another person who's going to validate what you're saying. So it may be that you're talking with someone and you say, oh my gosh, Samantha, you remind me exactly of my friend Lauren. I am so excited to connect the two of you. I would love for us to jump on a call and have Lauren share her experience with you. She was exactly the same way as you, working out all the time, food prepping all the time, not getting the results she wanted, and now she's crushing it. So connecting those like-minded people into a phone call. And I always say, like, I would love for you to be able to ask her questions, find out what was so different, what did she do? And then it becomes a rapport and a conversation, and Lauren can give validation to me and what I'm saying, but also really connect with Samantha and give her that connection piece. So that's another great reason to use that three-way call. And then there's also that interaction and that conversation. Sometimes people don't want to get on the phone, and that message after the ad tag is all it takes. Other people love to get on the phone. They might have a lot of questions. So it's a perfect way to have that back and forth conversation, you know, occur versus just a message. And then the last reason that you may want to set up a three-way call is sometimes you just need an expert, right? So, and I say expert, but if you're talking to someone who has a specific issue or concern and you feel like an expert is going to be the person that's going to help you, I would say this. Like, let's say Samantha has a goal of losing 10 pounds, but she has some dietary restrictions, right? And she's concerned that maybe Isagenix doesn't fit those dietary restrictions. It may be a situation like, let's say she needs gluten-free or dairy-free or plant-based or whatever that is. You know, you can pull in the expert. Like, my friend Lauren is completely plant-based. Let's talk with her. Now she's the plant-based expert, right, in how Isagenix fits. Maybe it's someone who has autoimmune. There's some people on our team that have autoimmune and have been thriving using Isagenix. Maybe it's somebody who has a new diagnosis of type 2 diabetes, and can I really use these products, right? We have a couple people on the team who have medical backgrounds who love to be able to help those people understand how Isagenix would fit in. So those three-way calls really have some great benefits. One, if you're new, they're the best way that you are ever going to learn this business and learn what to say. So at some point, you're the person being called in for that call, right? The second is you really want to connect like-minded people. So someone who has an issue, connect them to someone else who had the same issue and got incredible results. And then the third is to really pull in an expert and set those calls up. And then Lauren, do you want me to touch a little bit too on how to set those calls up? Yeah, okay. Sometimes that's another issue, like how do we actually get the call set up? So Samantha is excited to talk to Lauren because Lauren eats a plant-based diet, and so does Samantha, so Samantha wants to know. So I'll say, okay, Samantha, what are some days and times? Is the evening better for you this week? Are there any evenings that don't work? That's the one way you can do it. Samantha, say, you know what, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday evening are great for me. I can message Lauren and say, hey, are you available Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday evening? Or I can start a group message, right? Either a text or preferably Messenger, Facebook Messenger, and just say, hey, Lauren, I'm so excited to introduce you to Samantha. She is very interested in Isagenix. She eats a plant-based diet just like you, and I'd love to set up an opportunity for the three of us to hop on the phone so you can share your journey with Isagenix with her. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday evenings are best for her. Do one of those days work best for you? Right? So one of two ways, find out the prospect's availability and message the person you're trying to get on the phone with options. It can't just be, hey, are you free tonight at 7? Because you're going to go back and forth and back and forth. So you want to get some different options to present to the person you're trying to get on the phone. And then the next key part, if you're brand new, you may not know this, but you become the person that initiates that three-way call, right? So I would call Samantha and I would say, okay, Samantha, we're going to give Lauren a call. I'm so excited to connect you guys. So I call Samantha. Once I have Samantha on the phone, I call Lauren and I bring Lauren in. You might call Lauren first and then bring Samantha in. If you feel like there's a few pointers you want to do before the call kicks off, you might call Lauren first and then bring in Samantha. But here's the really important part. You want to be sure that they know why they're talking to each other, and you want to edify the expert or the person you're bringing on the call. So bringing Lauren on the call to help Samantha. So I want to edify Lauren and say, Lauren, thank you so much for your time. I'm so grateful you could get on the phone with Samantha today. Here's what Samantha's looking to accomplish. She wants to lose 10 pounds. She's a little concerned about getting enough quality protein because she eats a plant-based diet. And I know, Lauren, you've been living a plant-based lifestyle for the last 5 years, and you're really an expert in all of our Isagenix products, but really specifically in the plant-based arena. You've lost 15 pounds, you know, your energy's up, you feel amazing. So I'm so excited for you to share with Samantha what you're doing. So now we all know why we're on the phone and what we're going to talk about. It's incredibly awkward if you get everyone on the phone and you're like, hi, everybody. And then there's like silence and nobody knows who's going to talk, who's going to say what. So you want to be the one that initiates who's on the call, why they're on the call, and then be the one who initiates the conversation. Lauren, I am going to mute and I'm going to let Samantha tell you right now what her biggest challenges are. Okay, and then Samantha's going to obviously, as our prospect, hop out and say, yeah, I'm really struggling with blah, blah, blah. See, so we led the conversation. Does that help? I think that probably clarifies the best way to do it. Lauren, is there anything you want to add to that?
I think that's so wonderful. And I love that you're talking about when you're setting it up, you know, not using the verbiage of upline or leader. And I just want to add on, there will be a time that you want to do that but for most people, we're just trying to make us be relatable, right? Make sure people like us, they trust us, you know, that they can see themselves a part of this and know that we have their best interest at heart, right? So if Laura meets, you know, Crystal at Pure Barre, right? And Crystal just wants to drop 10 pounds in 2020. She just wants to do a little reset, and Laura's talking about it, and she wants someone else to share that story. you know, she can easily be like, I'm going to call you later with my friend Lauren, because she was the same way. You know, she works out all the time. She was eating clean, but just like couldn't get those last few pounds off. Her story is, I think, totally going to resonate with you. And she can tell you exactly what you did, because I want to make sure you get the best experience, right? And so when she introduces us, part of that edification could just be like, this is my good friend Lauren. I've known her for 5 years. You know, and the edification can be building rapport on how she knows me, right? And that she trusts me. It doesn't mean I have to get on the phone and be a master clinical nutritionist and 15 years of experience and coach thousands of people and the number 305 millionaire, because it's irrelevant to that person, right? And I become unrelatable, untouchable, and this woman's like, what? Like, why am I hearing all of this information? And so I think that Laura's done such an amazing job with that. And the edification part can be someone's credentials if you're using the expert, but it also is just telling a story. I mean, the same way if Laura and I were out to coffee and a friend of hers walked by, she's not going to introduce them to me with my resume, right? She's going to introduce them to me and how she knows me and what's relatable to them. And I think sometimes we forget about that. And that's part of this, like, don't make it weird. Now, at the same point, if Laura was going to be helping me get a job, right? Like, let's say like Laura still worked in human resources and she had connections and I was submitting my resume and I was applying for a job. At that point, Laura's clearly going to introduce me differently. It's a different type of situation. And she's going to say she is such a good, you know, she has such good work ethic. She's an amazing multitasker. You know, Lauren is just someone that gets things done. She takes care of business. You can rely on her. She has great personal relationships, or whatever that looks like. And it's different than how we know each other, because Laura is building a case for who I am for this company. If I'm cross recruiting like a top leader, you know, or I have someone that's very familiar with network marketing and they're looking at Isagenix as a company, heck yes, I'm going to really edify that person. So for example, if I have someone from Shakeology and they're considering looking at Isagenix, and I have my good friend Jessica Rigner get on the call, I'm going to say, you know, she's one of our top millionaires. She earned 7 figures in less than 2 years. She's at this award, this award, this award. I'm really going to blast what she's done so that it builds belief when we get on that call. And so 9 out of 10 times when we're meeting moms at play groups, or we're meeting friends at gyms, or we're talking to friends and family, we're just putting like-minded people together. And I love what you're talking about, Laura, is not making it weird, because people feel like it's weird and then they make it weird because they feel like that person's going to feel pressured to be sold, where we just have to think about where we rely on people all the time. Like, Ryan and I were struggling to figure out breast side up for Thanksgiving the other day. And I was like, call your mom, right? Like, in a second, we did our own 3-way call, because I was like, FaceTime your mom. She'll show us what side's breast up, right? Or what we're supposed to be doing with this turkey. It's the same thing. You know, if you're sitting down with someone, they're like, well, I don't know about that. Or I don't know about this pack or the cost. Like, I'm going to call Lauren. She's been doing this a lot longer, right? Like, Ryan's mom has been cooking turkeys a lot longer than me, right? I trusted her. And be like, Lauren's been doing this a lot longer. I'm going to call her. And that's the part where you just kind of got to use your intuition of when it's really important to edify someone with their credentials, their ranks, their, you know, whatever in this industry. And when you're just introducing a friend to another friend, because you really want to get them the best service and the best value. You good, Laura? Well, Sam, I'm so glad that you hopped on with us live. And I just want to thank all of you in real, not real time, in recorded time and podcast time that watch this and listen to it and pass it on and share it, for investing and growing your business. And any questions, reach out to us. But Laura and I are both very confident that the quicker you start doing ATMs and 3-way calls, the quicker you are going to have a growing network business. And just remember, the more people you help, the bigger the paycheck. If you have a little paycheck, you're not helping very many people. Bye, you guys. See you in a week.